Pramada, Trita, Gritas, Grit Samadaha, Asita, Kakshivan, Gautama, Atri, Kaushika, and Sudarshana were present. So let's chant the invocation verses. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya. Naram Chaiva Narotamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Tato Jaya Mudiraye. Shrunavatam Swakatha Krishna. Punya Shravana Kirtana. Hridayantasto Yapadrani. Vidhunoti Sruhat नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी. Prabhupada ki jai. So the purport is quite a long purport because Prabhupada has uh, in detail explained all the sages who have assembled over there. So let's read and enrich ourselves with the knowledge of various munis. So starting with Parvata Muni. So Parvata Muni is considered to be the one of the oldest sages. He is almost always a constant companion of Narad Muni. They are also spacemen competent to travel in air without the help of any material vehicle. Parvata Muni is also a Devarshi or a great sage amongst demigods like Narada. He was present along with Narada at the sacrificial ceremony of Maharaj Janamejaya, the son of Maharaj Parikshit. In this sacrifice, all the snakes of the world were to be killed. Parvata Muni and Narada Muni are called Gandharvas also because they can travel in the air singing the glories of the Lord. Since they can travel in the air, they observed Draupadi's Swayamvar ceremony, selecting of her own husband from the air. Like Narada Muni, Parvata Muni also used to visit the royal assembly in the heaven of King Indra. As a Gandharva, sometimes he visited the royal assembly of Kuvera, one of the important demigods. Both Narada and Parvata were once in trouble after with the daughter of Maharaj Srinjaya. Maharaj Srinjaya got the benediction of a son by Parvata Muni. So here, Prabhupada has very succinctly explained who Parvata Muni is, and he is always a constant companion of Narad Muni. And we have seen there are so many instances in Bhagavatam where Parvata Muni is always accompanying Narad Muni wherever he is going. The primary example which comes to the mind is is that of sage Valmiki. So uh, when Narada Muni instructed Valmiki Muni to stop killing the earlier the part of life when he was killing various kinds of animals, Parvata Muni was witnessing that, and Narada Muni had explained the Bhagavad Dharma to the hunter, and after instructing Valmiki Muni, and they left, and when they came back, they just came back to check upon Valmiki, and he saw Narad Muni saw that he is trying to avoid some steps. So he is walking very funnily. And when both of them went and they saw that Valmiki Muni is trying to avoid killing the ants on the ground. So this is one of the examples when we see that Parvata Muni is always in companion with Narada Muni. The next is Narad Muni. So Narad Muni is inevitably associated with the narrations of Puranas. Whoever has received Bhagavata Dharma, whoever's example we are reading in Bhagavatam, most of them have Narad Muni as their guru. We know the example of Dhruva Maharaj, we know the example of Prahlad Maharaj, and Narad Muni himself is one of the 12 Mahajanas, Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu. So he is always in narration of Puranas. He is described in Bhagavatam. In his previous life, he was the son of a maid servant, but by good association with pure devotees, he became enlightened in devotional service. And in the next life, he became a perfect man comparable with himself only. So he had no one else to compare with. In the Mahabharata, his name is mentioned in many places. He is the principal Devarshi or the chief sage amongst demigods. He is the son and disciple of Brahmaji, and from him, the disciplic succession in the line of Brahma has been spread. He initiated Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj, and many celebrated devotees of the Lord. He initiated even Vyasadev, the author of Vedic literatures, and from Vyasadev, Madhvacharya was initiated. And thus, the Madhva Sampradaya, in which Gaudiya Sampradaya is also included, has spread all over the universe. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu along belonged to this Madhva Sampradaya. Therefore, Brahmaji, Narada, Vyasa, down to Madhva, Chaitanya, and Goswamis all belong to the same line of disciplic succession. Narada has instructed many kings from time immemorial. In Bhagavatam, we can see that he has instructed Prahlad Maharaj while he was in the womb of his mother, and he instructed Vasudev, the father of Krishna, as well as Maharaj Yudhishthir. So, in the seventh canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the discussion the discussion between Maharaj Yudhishthir and Narada takes place, and Narad Muni explains who are the primary devotees of Lord. And the first name that he says is that of Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj is his disciple. And Narad Muni uh, goes on to explain that Prahlad Maharaj's devotion is much, much more than what he himself can perform to the Lord. So he is explaining that amongst all the devotees, amongst the uncountable devotees of the Lord, the primary name which can come up is that of the name of Prahlad Maharaj. And uh, he basically explains that he is very, very honored, and he is very, very like, it is a great fortune for him to be the guru of Prahlad Maharaj. Now, one more thing to be noticed over here is that we are in the line of succession in the Brahma Sampradaya. So we are in the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, and there is a very beautiful bhajan which can be seen. I'll just stop sharing and I'll share my entire screen. Just a minute. So there is one Vaishnav bhajan. Uh, it is written by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. This one, yeah. So it's a very beautiful bhajan, and it is comprised of 9 verses. And in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada has written down the names of all the gurus in our line of succession, and this bhajan has those names in it. So the first line is Krishna hoite chaturmukha, hoi Krishna sevon mukha, Brahma hoite narade ramati, नारद होइते व्यास मध्व को हे व्यास व्यास पूर्ण प्रज्ञा पद्मनाभ गति. So in the beginning of creation, the science of devotional service was received by the four-headed Brahma from the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Devarshi Narad's understanding of this divine science was obtained from Brahma. The great sage Krishnadvaipana Vyasa, who was empowered to compile the Vedic literatures, became a disciple of Devarshi Narada. Sripad Madhvacharya, the founder of the Shuddhadvaita school of Vedanta philosophy, who visited Vyasadeva at Badrikashram in the 13th century to learn from him Vedanta philosophy, calls himself a servant of Krishnadevapana Vyasa. Purna Prajna Tirtha, Madhva, is the guru and the sole refuge of Padmanabha Tirtha. And from the second verse onwards, all the disciples in this line of succession have been named. So here we see that Krishna instructed the message, the science of devotional service to Brahma. Brahma gave it to Narada. Narada gave it to Krishnadevapana Vyasa, and Vyasadev gave it to Madhvacharya, and Madhvacharya gave it to Padmanabha Tirtha. And in the very last verse, you can read the last verse as well. And if we find time, someday we can sing this bhajan as well. So, Ihara Paramahamsa Gaurangira Nija Bamsa Tadera Charane Mamagati Ami Seba Udasina Namete Tridandi Dina Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. So the last verse is very beautiful. These treat saintly Vaishnavas are these great, not treat, these great. So it is Yahara Paramahamsa. So these great saintly Vaishnavas are all Paramahamsas, or devotees of the highest order, and they are all part of Lord Gauranga's own spiritual family. Their holy feet are my refuge. I have no real interest in devotional service, and I am a poor and lowly Tridandi sannyasi named Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. So uh, we basically are all family members. All the branches of Brahma Madhva Gauda Sampradaya, all the various branches of the Brahma Sampradaya, the original trunk, and from there the various branches. So we have Madhva Sampradaya. From the Madhva Sampradaya, we have one more offshoot, that is the Gaudiya Sampradaya. From the Gaudiya Sampradaya, we have one more offshoot, that is ISKCON. So all these trunks, the branches, the offshoots, the shoots, the twigs, the leaves are all part of the same tree, and we are all one single family. And this is being instilled into us by the Param Guru, Guru, that is Saraswati Prabhupada, and he is saying that we are all part of Gaurang Mahaprabhu's very large, beautiful family. So we will continue from where we left off. So the next rishi, who is being explained, is Dhaumya. So a great sage who practiced severe penances at Utkochaka Tirtha and was appointed the royal priest of Pandava kings. He acted as the priest in many religious functions of the Pandavas, the Samskaras, and also each of the Pandavas was attended by him at the betrothal of Draupadi. He was present even during the exile of the Pandavas and used to advise them in circumstances when they were perplexed. He instructed them how to live incognito for 1 year, and his instructions were strictly followed by the Pandavas during that time. His name is mentioned also when the general funeral ceremony was performed after the battle of Kurukshetra. So when the battle finished, there were so many people, there were so many soldiers who had died that it was impossible to perform funeral ceremony for each and every soldier. So there was one day which was assigned for the general funeral ceremony, and it is said that that day, even though it was the morning time, the sun rays could not hit the earth because there was so much smoke which was covered in the sky that is by the burning of all those bodies, the entire sky was completely covered by smoke, and the sun rays could not hit the earth. In the Anushasan Parva of Mahabharata 127.15 to 16, he gave very elaborate religious instructions to Maharaj Yudhishthira. He was actually the right type of priest for a householder, for he could guide the Pandavas on the right path of religion. A priest is meant for guiding the householder progressively in the path of ashrama dharma or the occupational duty of a particular caste. There is practically no difference between the family priest and spiritual master. The sages, saints, and brahmanas were especially meant for such functions. So, a family priest is basically a spiritual master, and Krishna tells us in Bhagavad Gita who is the true spiritual master, how to approach a spiritual master, and Rupa Goswami tells us how to uh, know who is a true spiritual master. And we have in this explanation of Prabhupada, he is trying to tell us that Yudhishthir Maharaj and the Pandavas were they had they because they were on the side of dharma, they knew that they had to follow the teachings of their family guru, that is Dhomi Rishi. Then is Badarayana Vyasadev. So he is known as Krishna Dvaipayana, Satyavati Sutta, Parasharya, Parashara, Parasharatmaja, Badarayana, Vedavyasa, etc. He was the son of Mahamuni Parashara in the womb of Satyavati prior to her betrothal with Maharaj Shantanu, the father of the great general grandfather Bhishma Dev. So he is basically the foster brother of Bhishma Dev. He is a powerful incarnation of Narayana, and he broadcasts the Vedic wisdom to the world. We also know that he is Shaktiavesh avatar of Krishna, though amongst various kinds of avatars, Leela avatars, Guna avatars, There's one more category called as Shaktavesha avatar, and he is one of the Shaktavesha avatar. And the literary potency of Lord, the wisdom potency of Lord has was manifested within Vyasadeva. One more such avatar is going to come next in the same discussion, that is Parshuram. He is the violence potency of Lord. So he is a powerful incarnation. As such, Vyasadev is offered respects before one chants the Vedic literature, especially the Puranas. And we have done the invocation verses before. Shukadev Goswami was his son, and rishis like Vaishampayana were his disciples for different branches of the Vedas. So he had several disciples, and some of the prominent are Shukadev Goswami, Vaishampayana, and Madhvacharya. He is the author of the great epic Mahabharata and the great transcendental literature Bhagavatam. The Brahma Sutras, the Vedanta Sutras, or Badarayana Sutras were compiled by him. Amongst sages, he is the most respected author by dint of severe finances. When he wanted to record the great epic Mahabharata for the welfare of all people in the age of Kali, he was feeling the necessity of a powerful writer who could take up his dictation. By the order of Brahmaji, Sri Ganeshji took up the charge of noting down the dictation on the condition that Vyasadeva would not stop dictation for a moment. The Mahabharata was thus compiled by the great joint endeavor of Vyasa and Ganesha. So I know that Mataji has told the story that when Vyasadeva was dictating to Ganeshji, Ganeshji said that the only condition I can work is that if you stop for a while, I will stop writing. So Vyasadeva also placed his condition that you will note it down only when you have understood it. So that gave him time to frame the next shloka and then to dictate the shloka to Ganeshji. So very beautifully, Prabhupada has given us a very brief record of Vyasadeva. There are various berry trees in Badrikashrama. The name Badri means the Badri berry, and there are many Badri trees over there. So that is why his name is Badarayana. So it is already 9:04. I think we can stop over here and we can read from the next Muni in tomorrow's class. Is it okay, Mataji?
Yes, yes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. We are in the 10th verse of Stotraratnam. Aruna?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तदितृणानि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरो भगवतस्य ते एकसिन्धो रामानुजस्य चरणं शरणं प्रपद्ये लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भा नाथयामनमध्यमानस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तं वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथाय कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तं सदा हृदि. Let us have the description about 10th verse of Stotra Ratna. नावीक्षसे यदि ततो भुवनान्यमूनि नालं प्रभो भवितुमेव कृता प्रवृत्तिः एवं निसर्गसुहृदि त्वयि सर्वजन्तोः स्वामिन्न चित्रम् इदमाश्रितवत्सलत्वम् नावीक्षसे न not avikshase. Avikshasa means not able to see. Yadi tato bhuvanani. Not so easy to see this material world. Bhuvanani amonina alam. I don't have that samarthya. Alam means I don't have that samarthya to even understand your creation. Now, what to speak about the spiritual world? I don't have that samarthya to understand the matter. Bhavitum evam kutaha. So I'm not able to understand how this pravritti is jivanam, from where this consciousness, everything is emanating. Evam nisarga suhradi. So how this prakriti has been given to us, which is actually very friendly to us. Suhradam. It's so friendly. Tvai sarvajanto swamin, and you are. Tvai means you are. Sarvajanto, for all the jivas, you are the Swami. Na chitramidam. There is there is no doubt about it. At the same time, it is not wonderful because you are so wonderful. There is nothing wonderful for you. For us, it may be wonderful, adbhutam. But for Krishna, this material world is not adbhutam. In one other place, Srila Prabhupada also speaks that whatever you have done, it is ascharya. Ascharya for us, ascharya vadvadati pashyati kaschidenam. Everything is ascharya for us. But relating to Krishna, he feels there's nothing ascharya in that. He just glanced at the matter and all the Brahmandas emanated. For us, it is very, very astonishing. But for Krishna, it is not astonishing. Ashita. So please keep it Ashita Vatsalatvam. So please keep me at your lotus feet. You are the only Ashraya Tattva. What is the 10th canto of Bhagavatam? It speaks about the Ashraya Tattva. Other all speak about different subject matters. But when it comes to Ashraya Tattva, it is only Krishna. And how is he his mother? Yes, that means that. So the one who comes in your shelter, you should be a mother. And that can only happen with Krishna. He is only the mother for everyone. A person comes in your shelter. That means you should have compassion to that person. Compassion to that person. And the compassion in the motherly mood, where there is no criticism at all, that can only happen relating to Krishna. So now, because you have glanced, there is another meaningful. Because you have glanced at the matter, these three planetary systems emanated. And that is how you are very compassionate. Creating this material world is the highest compassion of Krishna. You will say how your Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi and all this trouble has been given by Krishna. How it can call this activity to be the most compassionate activity? Yes, this is the most compassionate activity because reclamation center has been given to us. How we can reclaim our activities, how we can improvise our activities. The jivas before creation, they are in the stomach of Lord. They have taken shelter in the stomach of Lord. Because of a tendency of ownership or controlling tendency, every jiva is suffering. And that is why the jiva does karma and faces karmic reaction. To perform karma, he needs a place, isn't it? With all these tendencies, we cannot stay in the spiritual world. You cannot stay in the house where you are envious of your father. When you are envious of your father, you cannot stay in that place. So father, what he does, he gives provision so that you can stay in a separate place and you can do your activities. Krishna has also done the same thing. We cannot be envious of Krishna. We cannot have that ownership tendency with Krishna. We cannot be competitive with Krishna. Then Krishna provides us a separate place. That where we think that we are the owners, we are the controllers, Krishna says you can do that. In this way, Krishna is a Surada, Suradam Sarvabhuteshu. He is the real friend, a real benefactor. He provides us the place where by suffering we can understand our mistakes. Like jail is the most compassionate activity of a government. If the jail is not given, how will the thieves improvise themselves? So for improvement, the jail is given. In the same way, this material world is a jail. It's a durga. To improvise ourselves, there is an opportunity which is given. And it is said, especially this earthly planet, it is the place where we can improvise and go back to Godhead. So in this way, you are the father and the mother. You have vatsalyata. So you have vatsalyata towards every jiva. In this way, you are the Swami. You are the controller. You are the master. 11th verse. स्वाभ्या स्व स्व स्वाभाविकानवधिकातिशये शितृत्वं नारायण त्वयि मे मृष्यति वैदिकः ब्रह्मा शिव शतमख परमस्वराडि एतेऽपि यस्य महिमार्णववि पृशस्ते. So swabhavika. This is sahaja for you. Everything is sahaja. Anavadhika. Anavadhika means it is limitless. There is no boundary for it. Ishitritvaha. Ishitritvaha jada. Ishitritvaha. In this way, you are controlling everything. You are keeping the jada vastu also in your control. Ishitritvaha. Hey Narayana. Tvaime mrishyati. Someone is not understanding this, that everything belongs to you. Vedika kaha. There are great scholars who has understood you. Who cannot understand? Who cannot understand you if they are real followers of the Vedas? Brahma, Shiva, Shatamakaha. Shatamaka means Indra. Brahma, Shiva, and Brahmaji. He is also eager to understand you. Paramaswarata. And you are Paramaswarata. You have the highest independence. Iti etepi Mahima Arnava Yasya Mahima Arnava. Mahima Arnava means it is ocean. Your glories are boundless. You're like an ocean. Viprushaha. And they are very, very subtle also. How you do the things, how it is get done, everything is so subtle. And your glories are limitless. Jivas, anyhow, you are Bhakta Vatsala for Jivas. The previous verse it has been said. What about the Jadavastu? This matter has been given by you. Even you are Swami for the matter. You are Paramaswarata. Same thing has been given in the first canto, first verse of Bhagavatam. Janmadesya Tanvayadi Taratah Charteshva Bhigya Swarata. You are Swarata, highly independent. The topmost, you are the topmost independence also. Some minute independence has been given to the jivas. So in this way, your tattvas are very difficult to be understood. But one who really follows you, then you reveal this subtle tattvas, subtle truth. How you are controlling, how you are providing, how everything is get done, how every karmas is given the reactions, how we are getting the bodies. Now just see how we have got our own bodies, how we have got a paraphernalia, how the karmas are controlled by Krishna also. Everything is observed by Krishna, and not just one or two. So many countless jivas. One has to really think about it. How Krishna is attracting the matter. Narayana was speaking about the black hole, that how this black hole attracts everyone. That black hole is actually Krishna, which by our scientific understanding, very difficult to even know about the black hole. That black hole is Krishna. How he is attracting the matter, this is the answer for it. Even Brahmaji, Mahadev, Indra, they cannot understand. His swabhava, Narayana's swabhava, is very difficult to even understand, even to tolerate also. Because he's highly independent. What he will do the next moment, we cannot understand. How this whole creation happens, what will happen when he becomes unmanifest, when he'll manifest, very difficult to analyze Krishna. Even very difficult to even understand what will be his next move. Damodar month is going on. What is going to be the next move was very difficult to be even predicted by Yashoda. She helplessly tried Krishna in the mortar. What will be his next move? Nobody could understand, nobody predicted also. The effect is seen, but the cause is not understood. Parinam is seen, Karana is not understood. Who were the two trees? None of them knew. That is why Wonderful Krishna is a topic where the Vrajavasis only speak, oh, how wonderful is Krishna. He pulled down the trees. But what was the history behind it? Nobody knew. Nobody knew the history behind it, except for Narada and certain devotees only knew the Karana, reasons. They don't know the reasons. And then what happened after that also they don't know. Nalakuber, Manigriv, they offered the prayers, they went. That all they don't know. They are just glorifying Krishna. That is how he is completely independent. His next move cannot be predicted. He is completely independent. That is how here in the Stotra, Shripad Yamunacharya glorifies how Krishna is Natha for the matter, for also the jivas, and how Krishna's the most compassionate activity is giving this material world so that we can reclaim ourselves and go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. So Narayana has a desire to complete Bhishma's prayers. We have done it, but still, because Bhishma Panchak is now going to start for 5 days, that is from first. So Bhishma's prayers are very, very important prayers. The more we hear, we can realize how Bhishma Pitamaha, he is the greatest devotee of Lord. He is one of the Mahajanas of Lord. Okay. Today's Deepdan Mahotsav is at Aparna Chakravarti Mataji's house. Somebody told me Chakravarti Mataji gave me Aparna's number. I told both are same one. That is why I wrote today both. So Aparna Chakravarti Mataji's house. So please come, all of you.
Different, Mataji. Both are different.
Acha, Aparna is different,
Okay.
Chakravarti is different, or what?
Dhanavad Pranam, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubyascha kripa sindhubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo